Hello everyone, my name is Brittany Roden and welcome to my capstone presentation titled From Physical to Digital Group Collaboration Within the Classroom. So moving right along, my topic is negative group project experiences within face-to-face and online university classrooms. I decided on this because I know many students, including myself, have had negative group experiences, and I wanted to see if there was a way to take these negative group experiences and turn them into positive ones. So that is what my capstone is all about. Moving forward, my contribution to scholarly research is that while the discussion of group projects is not new to the conversation, what is new is the things I found within my study. So within this presentation, I will be discussing at how I looked at specific communication behaviors and social perceptions that create negative group experiences and seeing if these could be changed to make positive experiences, as well as looking in depth at member roles and student-teacher relationships. I also brought into this contribution a qualitative perspective because many previous studies have shown to have quantitative perspectives, which I did as well. I did a mixed method study, but I wanted to bring in a qualitative perspective because I thought that this would provide a deeper insight into the data. And as you can probably see through the screen, yes, I am recording my laptop screen on my phone because again, my laptop is still not recording audio. So, within this presentation, I will discuss my literature review, my method, and all the results and discussion from my study and how this contributes to a scholarly research overall. So moving right along into my literature review, my first section talks about how group projects are changing from a physical class setting to a digital one, and basically overall, no matter what class setting it is, previous research states that there needs to be consistent communication to have a successful group collaboration. Nothing was stated though on what specific communication behaviors are needed, and therefore I wanted to look deeper into that. As for impacts of social presence, past studies had found that social presence needs to be active within all types of group settings for contributions to be successful, but instead of just looking at active or inactive contributions, I wanted to see if there could be different types of social perceptions that also contribute or do not contribute to group collaborations. Moving into my last section of my literature review, I looked at guidance needed, which had shown basically that there was a lack of positive social presence between professors and students, and I wanted to look into that further, as well as how many instructors were found to not have much or any formal training for the groups that they conducted, whether these groups be online or in person, so I wanted to look into that as well. So all of this previous research and all these previous studies led me to the following research questions, which basically ask what specific communication behaviors contribute to a negative group experience, and are they different in face-to-face and online groups? Research question 2A and B are basically the same, but instead of looking at communication behaviors, we're looking at social perceptions. Research question 3 asked students how they would feel on the idea of instructor-assigned roles for members in groups because previous research had only discussed the idea of the role of a leader and a slacker, but never different types of roles. And research question 4 looked at what training or experience do instructors of group projects possess. So as for my method, I had 42 student participants and 18 faculty participants. Most of these students were either from Midwest universities or Southern universities, while the faculty were either from Miami or from a Facebook group about communication scholars. The survey was posted to major social media sites and was left up for 3 weeks. The student survey consisted of closed and open-ended questions with 2 scales that were both Likert. And basically I asked people to state if they had negative group experiences within face-to-face, online, or both class settings, and to answer various questions based on these negative experiences and how they would feel about instructor-assigned roles to groups, and also how they felt their instructor could make their negative group experience into a positive one. As for the faculty survey, this was a lot of open-ended questions, basically asking what type of classes they taught, why they did or did not conduct group projects, and various questions about how these group projects were ran in their classes. So moving on to my results, basically, these first two research questions were not very significant, which is not very surprising based on previous research. Basically, I found that the average answer for both research questions was 3, meaning that no true answer was really chosen, and that there was not found to be any specific communication behaviors or social perceptions that contribute to an overall negative experience, and that there is no difference found between these communication behaviors and social perceptions between face-to-face groups and online groups. Moving on to my third research question, I found this to be very significant in that using thematic analysis, I found 2 themes, and this one was effective and accountability, which 72% of my respondents felt that instructors assigned roles to groups would increase efficiency and accountability within the group, while 28% of my respondents felt that students should choose the roles instead of instructors, and that by doing this, students could choose roles that benefited their own strengths. Research question 4 was somewhat significant for reasons that I will get into later, but what was not very surprising is that most faculty did not have any training to conduct group projects or group dynamics, while only 37.5% had training and do conduct group projects. So, as for my analysis, like I said, research question 1 and research question 2 were not found to be significant, which, like I said, was not very surprising based on previous research. There is a somewhat difference between face-to-face and online communication behaviors and social perceptions, but not a big enough one to make a true difference be found within the data. Moving on to research question 3, I found this to be very significant in that it led to new insights on roles within groups. Out of 32 respondents, 72% felt that groups would be roles for groups would increase efficiency and accountability, and that 28% of students felt that students should choose the roles if they were to have roles within groups. But overall, all respondents felt that no matter what, if roles were incorporated into the groups, whether instructor assigned or student assigned, these would create structure, increase group productivity, and group performance. As for research question 4, while the training was not very new, 2 themes emerged from when I asked instructors why they do or do not conduct group projects within their classes. Using thematic analysis again, one of the major themes was that instructors found that 59% had stated that groups they felt were important for learning of group and work skills. Many stated that the skills that students learn within these group projects make them successful for when they go off into the workforce, while 29% of respondents felt that conducting group projects within their classes was just too difficult for various reasons, many being that instructors did not want to be babysitters, they did not want to hold their students' hand throughout the project since as college students we are adults, and also that too many negatives come out of conducting group projects when most likely this could all just be resolved by doing just basic group work within the class already. Group work as in small group assignments. And so moving on to my other findings, when asking students about positive experiences and how instructors could have made these negative experiences into positive ones, 34% of respondents said that the instructors could have communicated better and cared more, either by emailing more efficiently or holding bi-weekly meetings or just plain caring more for their students, because students felt a lack of social presence. And also, students felt that the only positive experience they got out of these negative experiences was just making friends. So basically, my recommendations for all of this is that we should train our faculty and students on group communication and group dynamics before they engage in group projects. As for limitations, of course, there was COVID-19, which could have affected how many participants I got. And also, I had a non-random sample. As for future directions, I feel like we should look deeper into how the assignment of member roles could affect group communication and social presence. Also, student and teacher relationships to build positive social presence. As for my conclusion, overall I feel the study was significant. From a top-down perspective, I feel like instructors should be taught on group communication and dynamics. Instructors need to be taught effective communication and social presence behaviors, because then they can teach these same communication behaviors and perceptions to their students. And these teachings will help create positive experiences, and specifically group experiences, for everyone. So that is it. Thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.